Hi there, it's Jacqueline McGrath here again with another cooking class. I am super excited to potentially introduce you to our Epic Life booklet. This is actually Good Food, Real Results, and this is not just a cookbook, but it's got menu plans, grocery lists, and of course, recipes. Yum, yum. So the recipe I'm going to be making today is your easy Mexican frittata. And where you can actually purchase the product or what the product is in is our Mexican collection. So this is our Good Mexican Real Fast collection. And inside there's recipes. There's actually the recipe for the frittata in here. We've got 4 ingredients and the price point for this is roughly about $35. It will make 40 meals. Substantial. So if you are one of these people that is trying to make ends meet because you've lost your job or you just don't want to spend a lot of money on groceries, but you want to feed your family healthy, you should totally be looking at Epicure as a way to feed your family healthy, affordable meals made in minutes. Most of our recipes, just so you know, are raw to ready in 20 minutes or less. Set it and forget it. Or the other thing you may be really concerned about is that you are sensitive to certain allergens. So all of our product line is 100% gluten-free. And we built an entire product line around our never ever list. If you go looking in your pantry, chances are you've probably noticed there's a lot of stuff written on those labels, but not on ours. So let's get started. Let me just grab this recipe. Okay, like I said before, it's called the Easy Mexican Frittata. And it says, if we just follow along, we're going to use a bell pepper. Now, you can see I've got a flexible cutting mat. Love these in the fact that you can cut it and drop it right into your product, or your bowl. And we're going to use a knife. Now, you can use either knife. This is the paring knife. Nice and sharp, or we've got our chef knife. So I'm just going to use my chef knife. I probably don't need all of this because I'm actually cutting the meal in half because there's just 2 of us here at the moment. So I'm just going to want to put this in nice little chunks. And we're actually going to steam these a bit in advance because eggs don't take long to cook. So we'll just... Can you see how nice and sharp this knife is? It's like a dream. Now, frittatas, just so you know, is an Italian term that basically means fried. We're not frying. If you know anything about Epicure, we have these amazing cook tools called steamers. And we're going to actually use it. And the reason we use steamers is because it locks in the flavor better and takes way less time. And let's face it, steamers are trending like crazy right now. Have you seen those steam ovens that they've got? They're a fortune. I was actually looking at maybe replacing one of my appliances in the house here. And it's just like, okay, you know what? Until my oven breaks, I'm okay. I'm not spending $3,000. But this is what I'm using today because I'm cutting the recipe in half for a meal for 2. This is our rectangular steamer. It comes with a lid. For the family size, you may want to consider our multi-purpose steamer. And just so you know, if you're watching me and you're thinking, oh my gosh, all she's doing is cooking, sharing it on Facebook or on social media and introducing people to an amazing product and she makes money, and you're thinking, I could maybe do this, reach out to me. This is actually an item that actually is included in your business kit. So you can start a business for less than $200. And that's the gift that keeps giving. You can eat your kit and make money doing it. Okay, so let's continue on. So I've got my peppers, and you could use, honestly, with a frittata, if you've got any leftovers in your house, you can literally use them up. So you could put in leftover meats, leftover vegetables from a meal, and we're just going to put a lid on this and we're just going to throw it in the steamer for just 1 minute. Ready? Here we go. Okay, so that is in the microwave. Now, the other thing that we need to do, frittatas is eggs. Basically, frittata is an egg dish, and I intentionally dropped a piece of the eggshell in here. And I don't know what you use currently right now, but here's a little hack that I want to show you. There's two that I'm going to show you regarding eggs because I love eggs. If you're trying to find that shell that you broke in, the best thing to do is keep one of your shell things and literally just scoop it up. It's like a sharp little knife, and it's gone. So boom. Now, the recipe also says that we have our full eggs. It actually asks for egg whites. I have a story about that. Are you ready? I made a recipe years ago, and the recipe, seriously, I was a really young girl, and I think I was 11 or 12 years old and wanted to bake a cake. It traumatized me. I still don't bake well. But when I was baking the cake, it asked for egg whites, and I didn't understand what egg whites were, and I lived in a rural community, and I had brown eggs in the fridge, and needless to say, I didn't know if I could put brown eggs in because it asked for egg whites. Maybe I'm dyslexic. So what did I do? I threw the whole egg in, shell and all. So truly, you know why I know how to get shells out of eggs. So this is, if you have Coke, any pop in your house, don't feel you need to buy something like this. I don't drink Coke. The only time we bring pop in is for drinks. Yes, we do like having our parties, but I usually buy cans. And this, you can use the same thing. You press it and you suck it up. And this will actually, here, give me a second, separate your egg whites from your yolk. How cool is that? So remember, just a plain old pop bottle will do exactly the same thing, because this recipe says we're going to have eggs and egg whites. Boom. Put this away, put a lid on it, and you can use it for something else. I'm going to use my wire whisk, and we're just going to make sure we mix this nicely. I'm going to add some seasoning, and I'm doing that Mexican frittata. So we're going to actually add some seasoning out of our Mexican kit. So I've got this nicely mixed. Our piano wire whisk, just so you know, is absolutely amazing in the fact that it's got lots of loops and it's soldered. So if you're looking for a good replacement on a whisk, look no further than purchasing today with me. Okay, we'll set that aside. Our seasoning, it says that we need a tablespoon. Remember, I did half the recipe, so I'm going to use a 4-in-1 spoon. Not using the tablespoon today. I'm going to flip it down to this end, and we're going to put roughly a teaspoon and a half. And remember, if your family is really fussy, can't handle the heat, you don't have to do frittata. You could use something totally different. So we've got that mix in. I'm going to grab my steamer because we're actually going to make this in the steamer. So I've just basically got my peppers done. Like I said, you can put any already cooked vegetables that you have, and then we'll just give this a quick little whisk. Make sure we've got that all seasoned in and mixed up. Yum. Now, our seasonings, just so you know, most of our seasonings have no sodium in them whatsoever. In fact, the ingredients for this says spices, chili pepper, we have mustard flour, onions, garlic, black pepper, lemons, cayenne pepper, and herbs. And so you didn't hear me say all of those crazy long names that might be in some of the product that you already have. So we've got this nicely mixed. We're just going to pour this with a little bit of cheese. So let's put our cheese in now. You can use any cheese you've got. You might have feta cheese. I love feta cheese. Mozzarella, cheddar, whatever you have. Swiss even. So, and we'll just put this in here. Pour it over nicely. And we're just going to throw it in the microwave for, what did the direct, oh, salt and pepper. I'm going to use the turmeric and ginger, salt, and, or sorry, the turmeric and black pepper. Put some of that on. I'm going to use a little bit of salt because all of our products are low sodium. And we're just going to actually cover it and put it in the microwave for 4 minutes. 1 second. Okay, so while that's working, let's make a dip. So in the Good Food Real Results collection, sorry, I'm just gonna wipe this down. In the collection, it actually says to make a balanced diet, you're supposed to serve it with half a cup of veggies and a 1/4 cup of dip. Now, the recipe actually shows it with avocados, but I didn't want to have avocados in it because vegetable of choice today, I'm gonna have this for lunch and it's just gonna be a nice salad. So I thought what I'd do is I would just make one of the dips that's actually in the Mexican collection, which is the nacho dip. So this has got a little bit of kick to it. I absolutely love it. The directions for making a hot dip are on here, but I just want to make like a really light sort of salad dressing with this. So this is basically sour cream and mayo. And the directions say roughly 3 tablespoons, but I'm using, again, half the recipe. So I'm basically gonna use 1.5 teaspoons again. So teaspoon on one side, 1/2 teaspoon on the other, tablespoon at this end. Pretty handy little tool to have in the kitchen. And my little spatula. This is a really cool spatula called the 3-in-1 spoon. It's a spatula, a spoon, and a mixer, as you're gonna see. And we're just gonna mix this up. And because it's quite thick right now, just because I want to use this as a salad dressing, I'm just going to add a little bit of milk to this and thin it out a bit so I can use it as a zesty, zippy Mexican salad dressing over top of my salad with my frittatas. How does that sound? Okay, so we've got that mix all done. Perfect. Let's add a little bit of milk. Now just pour the milk until you get the consistency that you would like. I just want to sort of put a little drizzle on it. Okay, so that's looking a little bit better. I might want to do a little bit more. It's still quite thick for me. Now, if you don't want to use sour cream or you have dairy allergies, or you would sooner use yogurt or soft tofu, you could totally do that as well. So Epicure is so versatile for people who are challenged with dietary issues for one reason or the other. It could be personal preference, or maybe you actually have to avoid some items. So that's a really nice consistency for me. I'm just gonna put a little dollop on and we'll be ready to go. Last thing I'm going to do is, let me go grab a tomato. I wanna make this plate look really nice because we always eat with our eyes. So 1 second, let me grab the tomato. Okay, so I am actually gonna use the nice sharp paring knife. So with my tomato, I'm just going to maybe chop it into nice fine little pieces so I can just set it right on top and really make it look pretty. So we'll just do a fine little chop with this. You can see how sharp this knife is. I've got 50 seconds left. Perfectly easy to do. You don't need to spend hours in the kitchen to make a healthy meal, raw to ready in 20 minutes or less. Clearly, if I wasn't talking and was actually focused, this meal, because I just need to steam the peppers for a minute, do a little bit of prep work, you can totally rock this, probably in 10 minutes if you were really in a crunch. So, let's see, 9, 8, I'm sure I can pull it up. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. So here's our steamer out of the oven. Let's take a look at it. Our frittata. So all I'm going to do is I'm now just going to plate it. Let me get a knife, cut it in half. So I'll just do this here. Put it on my plate. So far, so good. Done perfectly. grab maybe a little bit of my tomato to make it look pretty. We've got enough for the next plate. And then we're just going to put our salad dressing on. And I'm just going to put a little dollop because I may want to actually have it on the side. The recipe said 1/4 cup makes a balanced diet. So that's roughly about that. And there you go. I have for you your easy, super easy Mexican frittata. How easy is that? So bon appetit, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the cooking class. Please come back and see me again. I do these cooking classes Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 3 o'clock. Getting intrigued with some great product. Find some really healthy meals made to raw to ready in 20 minutes or less. And if there's anything that you need in the kitchen to ease your efforts of putting a healthy meal on the table, please private message me. I would love to help you figure out a way to make your cooking much easier.